Over the past 3 months, there have been nearly 1,000 opioid-related overdoses in the city of Toronto. Now, many of those did involve illicit drugs like heroin, but many of those also involved legal drugs like oxycodone, fentanyl, and even Percocet, drugs that you can get at your local pharmacy. And it's these legal drugs obtained legally that Melissa Burke says are killing her father. Today, she's picking up her father from a detox center and helping him pick back up the pieces of his broken life.
I screamed and cried for help to anyone that would listen. Anybody. I'm past the point of being embarrassed because I don't feel like it's our fault.
The 59-year-old man became addicted to painkillers he was prescribed by his physician over the past 3 years. She knew he was taking meds, but didn't know how bad it had become. He lost it all and was living in a basement apartment when he called her begging for help. That's when Melissa realized how profound his addiction truly was.
I went through his things and I found a giant bag of empty pills. And when I saw that they were Percocets and oxycodone, I couldn't even believe it. I started looking at the dates and how close together they were being prescribed. The ambulance driver even said, like, where did he get all of these? Because I had to call him an ambulance.
They all came from the same physician, and most of the prescriptions were filled at the same pharmacy. 900 Percocet pills in just over 60 days. And those are just the ones Melissa found.
He would never buy illegal drugs. Like, he trusted his doctor, and I just feel like it was a breach of that trust.
Last year, 865 people died from opioid-related overdoses in Ontario. It's a number that has been steadily climbing over the past few years, despite safeguards imposed by the government to curb them, like the narcotics monitoring system. It's a database that is supposed to flag patients getting multiple prescriptions for opioids from multiple physicians, but it only flags patients who get prescriptions from 3 or more physicians or try to get them filled from 3 or more pharmacies. Melissa's father generally used the same pharmacy and the same doctor.
You see every day legal drug dealers are being put to the test, and what makes them any different? I mean, they're worse in my opinion. They know better.
The College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario has set guidelines for prescribing opioids, including a cap of sorts of 90 milligrams of morphine equivalent. Melissa's father's drugs, if taken as prescribed, fall within the guideline, but the frequency with which he was refilling the pills suggests he was taking far more than prescribed and far more than the recommended daily limit. And yet the physician kept issuing more prescriptions and the pharmacist kept doling them out.
He let everything go. He wasn't able to maintain his mortgage, his house, his cars, eventually everything. It just breaks my heart because, I'm a daddy's girl.
Melissa has filed an official complaint with the College of Surgeons, and she's expecting a response over the coming months. Now, we looked into the physician's credentials, and he is allowed to practice in Ontario, but must be supervised because he was trained abroad and has not yet completed his College of Family Physicians exam. Her father, in the meantime, is on a wait list for a 4-month-long rehab program in Ottawa. Near Yonge and Dundas, Christina Howard, City News.